Hello everybody, Incon here guys with your patch notes review. And so this is actually going to be a little bit different than normal guys. I know this is my last couple of patch reviews that I've done. I was basically just me watching the video with Hindu doing the announcements and Pon and stuff. But actually I didn't get a chance to stream these patch notes live because I had some stuff come up in actual real life. Who would have thought there's actual real life behind the scenes? But some stuff came up so I couldn't actually stream the patch notes live, but I'm still here to give you guys the patch notes. But I have not seen any of the patch at all. Completely new to me. I haven't looked off anything. I've stayed away from social media, so we're going to be going through this patch together. If you have not seen the patch yet, the only thing I've done here is I've opened up a ton of tabs of skins because we're going to get looking right at them, and we've got a new god CAMAZOTZ that we're going to be looking at the end. This real cheeky little mother truck. But first, we've got skins. We've got Gemini Agni, who looks sick. That is I don't know what this skin's going for, but it's sick. So he's got like sweet purple blue vibes going on. He's got like a mask on, which I'm not sure. It's like kind of like spacey. But this is a sweet Agni skin, and I'm super down for that. I don't play Agni, it doesn't matter. Unless Agni got buffed in this patch. I don't know if it did. Next up, we got ourselves a Neith skin. Scarlet. Oh my god, there's an Isis skin. We got a Scarlet Dangerfield Neith skin. Sorry, Isis is bae. Which looks pretty sweet. She has a pistol. Interesting. I wonder how that's going to affect her attack animation. How different that's going to look. Wow, she's got some huge cannons on this pistol. Wow, look at that thing. That's ginormous. And a scope on it. That's crazy. I would scope right in with that pistol, using it to make sure I annihilate my enemies. But that's sweet. Definitely more of, might kind of like the Covert Ops skins, going for that kind of feel, looks like. Almost Overwatchy, actually. Feels kind of Overwatch related. Okay. Celestial Isis. None of these voice packs work, by the way, guys. They never do. Celestial Isis. Oh no, that's all we get. That's all I get to see of you. But you look so beautiful. You look so pretty. The skin looks so badass. I wish I could see more, but I can't, and I haven't. So I'm going to have to wait until the patch goes live, I guess. Next up, we've got Plague Bearer Itsunami. That skin is nasty, dude. That's the old mask that the doctors used to wear back in, like, the bubonic plague days. That's pretty sweet, actually. I'm glad that they came out with a good-looking skin for her quickly, because she's actually got a fun kit, and she's cool. She's not great, but she's a pretty cool character, so I'm glad she got herself a pretty sweet skin, and that's an awesome skin. Wolfman Fenrir, because Fenrir doesn't have enough skins. That's a pretty sweet skin, though. Basically saying that Fenrir go like kind of werewolf Fenrir, basically, is all they're doing here, werewolf Fenrir, but that's pretty sweet. It's a cool card art, too, with the whole moon in the background and stuff. I'm sure the skin will be fine. Definitely a different take on the Fenrir body, though, you know, not like straight furry and stuff. It's like jacked Fenrir, dude. I'm down to be a jacked Fenrir. We got another, dude, we've got so many skins. We've got Feline Fashion Awelix. Oh my god, it's a Halloween skin for who? Oh my god, look at how cute this guy is. Look at him. Well, aren't you just the cutest little thing I've ever seen? And aren't you just the cutest little things I've ever seen? Like, hello? Okay. That skin looks sick. And, oh my god, it's Lass. She's got the ears on, like Lass. Just like in his picture. You guys know what I'm talking about. Lass's Twitter picture, he's wearing the ears that he got from the cosplay Bastet lady. Over a cup of coffee, obviously. Neith Mastery skins, good, because her skins were ugly. Oh my, what is up today with all of the highlights on the weapons? Look how cool this thing is. That's actually a sweet skin for her. Her skins were pretty lame in terms of her masteries, but that's actually sweet. Hope they look good in-game as well, not just the card art. And finally, we have Itsunami skin masteries as well, which looks pretty sweet. At least a little bit less emphasis on the weapons here. More on her dresses. Anyway, she looks scary, actually. It's kind of weird. She kind of looks like she's looking into your face. I think she has like a itty bitty pupil. I think she has a pupil just at the top right there of her eye, which kind of makes it look like she's looking at me. I'm going to go on to a different page now. Okay, we can get rid of all of those skins now. That's all the skins coming out this patch. I'm sure some of those guys are Odyssey skins. I honestly don't know because I couldn't watch the patch notes. If I had to guess, these are both Halloween related, so they're probably not in the Odyssey. I would say Celestial, Isis, Gemini, Agni, and Dangerfield Neath are probably like Odyssey related or something. I'm not sure where we are in the Odyssey, so maybe it doesn't make any sense for those to be the skins, but that's what I would guess. Okay. Boom. Now we can full screen this and get serious since we don't gotta go look at pictures. Agni dance emote. Bam. Was unplayable beforehand. Achievements. I know you guys really want these achievements. What's in the bag? I don't care what's in your bag. There's a book of demons, Kali, Kabrakan, holy things. Okay, oh, look at that. It's going to tell us down here. Odyssey 2016. New content added. Gemini, Agni, Scarlet, Dangerfield, Neath, Celestial, Isis, Plague Bear, Ichinami. So, basically exactly what I thought would be in there, and one more with the Plague Bear, Ichinami. So those are all part of the Odyssey 2016 that will be released. Of course, this whole patch will be released next week. So cool. So basically all of the cool skins are in the Odyssey, so you best be looking to get the Odyssey. Halloween Arena. Oh no. Halloween Arena. Decorated the arena to set the mood for Halloween, and the Scary Potion is back. The Scary Potion makes a return this year with a brand new formula. So last year, I believe, if you bought the Scary Potion and drank it, it was like a jump scare with au poche or something. Something or another like that. Maybe that was the year before. I don't really remember, but interesting enough, I'll be buying that Scary Potion to see what happens. So I'm sure we're going to find out. Spooky, scary skeletons. Miscellaneous. Fixed issues where players on low settings would not see the screen turn gray once they died. Okay, that's kind of weird. Fixed an issue where the Chinese recall skin had a green glow when backing in the base. For all those people that backed inside their own base. Anyway, item changes. Here we go. Woo! Okay, this is where it's going to be sick because I don't know what's going to happen. Gem of Isolation is a luxury item that gives a strong slowing effect. Increase magical power from 70 to 90. Interesting. So, Gem of ISO is a very good item, but it is very expensive. It can be very hard to work into a build. I wouldn't say because of the fact that I have low magical power, because it didn't. It had 70. You have to go through the Warlock Sash tree, and so for the most part, if you're going to go through that tree, you're just going to pick up the Warlock Sash anyway, because you're going to be getting it early. This would be more of a later game situation. Some gods are certainly going to use this better than others. You know, people you'd think come to mind like Poseidon, but he's not really in the meta right now. So this might get picked up. 20 magical power is nice, but it's not like a world of difference. You know what I'm saying? If you think in endgame you've got 600 power compared to 620 power, that's not going to be that big of a difference. And that's, of course, assuming, you know, you lose the same power, you know, for that. I'm just swapping out. But if you can fit it into your build, that Gem of Isolation would be quite nice for mages. Or maybe even just to, like, pick up at the end of a support build just to throw some slows on your stuff. Because you have nothing else to build, and why not? Because you're 6-slotting. Ritual Dagger. Ritual Dagger should be a versatile item that fits into many builds. Reducing the cost will give players a chance to utilize it to fit the cheaper cost. So they reduce the gold by 150, but they also reduce the attack speed by 10. So Ritual Dagger wasn't getting picked up that much. It's going to be interesting. So they want to basically make it Wingblade, right? So now that it only has 10% attack speed, it's even closer to Wingblade. And now that it's reduced cost to 1850, I think that's the exact cost of Wingblade. So it and Wingblade are going to be very, 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 very similar now in terms of what they give generically. But of course, the big thing being their passives is what makes them different. I mean, you don't really pick up Ritual Dagger unless you have the actives to work with it, right? So, like, Blink doesn't work with it. Meditation doesn't work with it. Hog doesn't work with it. Well, Hog kind of works with it, but, like, it's mad. Beads it works with, but, like, Aegis, it's pretty okay. But you really want to pick up things like Shell, Frenzy, Sprint, Weakening Curve. Like, all those actives work really well with the Ritual Dagger. So if you were going to get it, it'd be like a support that built like Shell plus Heavenly, and you're like, yeah, 7.5 seconds of Shell Heavenly, which is totally an idea, and especially because it gives that health and the cooldown reduction, it might be a decent item for an early support to pick up. But you have to play around with it. It's not life-changing, but you could find a way to fit it into a build. But if you're going to go Hog Meditation, there's no point because you're not utilizing passive. Runeforged Hammer. Oh boy, they're changing it again because nobody picks it up still. Reduced cost from 2,400 to 2,000, so a lot cheaper. Reduced the physical power from 40 to 30, and increased the aura. Okay, so nobody was picking up Runeforged Hammer because it was still crappy. They've made it a lot cheaper, but reduced the physical power to try to get people to pick it up, and then the bonus damage aura that you get from it when people are slowed went from 10% to 15%. If anything affects this, it's going to be the fact that it's cheaper. 10 power actually at 40 can be a big deal. But the aura went up, which might make up for that damage in the long run anyway. But if you're going to pick up this item, you'd want to pick up on something like Chalk. And unless Chalk gets buffed this patch, I don't really see too many people using it. Robin could get away with it because, you know, Robin has the Prana Onslaught, so he could be able to utilize Runeforge as well. But those two in particular, probably more than anybody else. Like, yeah, you could throw it on Wukong or whatever, and a lot of people, but those two gods more than anybody could, if this item would work, that's who would work it on. Tower Shield. Shield of Regrowth and Shift of Shield are both strong items. We feel those items are in good place. So they're buffing Tower Shield by 10 physical protection to try to get people to go to Shield of Regrowth and Shift of Shield. 1. Don't ever build Shield of Regrowth. If I see you building Shield of Regrowth, I'm going to slap you. But poof, right across the face. I'm going to say what I say not to do. And you're going to say, don't build Shield of Regrowth. And I'm going to say, yes, that's exactly what I said not to do. Now, Shifter Shield's a good item. It's just weird to build into. So feel free to try it out, but don't go Shield of Regrowth. 10 more protections on the way there. Is it going to make a big difference? Maybe. I don't remember the price of Tower Shield. So unless it's super cheap, and then you get 20 protections from it, maybe, but nothing too crazy. And that's all the item changes. That's actually a decent bit of item changes, considering it's like getting towards land season. Oh my god. Speak of the devil, Runeforged Hammer Chalk. Holy crap. Alright. Chalk's receiving a mixture of quality of life adjustment fixes and changes how his abilities work, all aimed at making him more consistent and freeing up his utility. Let's go. Torrent. Chalk can now use this ability while crippled, but only if no axe is deployed. Interesting. So Chalk can now use his spin, if he's crippled, but not to teleport to it. Adjusted the tech of this ability to always allow it to hit enemies that are in range. That's cool. So Chalk had a massive, basically, bug, where when you used your spin, if they were like in the wrong part of the spin, or if they moved in the spin while you were spinning, your thing would like actually spin at them, and you could just like miss them because you're like, I'm coming, and then they like walked this way, and so they were behind the axe, and then you never hit them. So I'm glad that got fixed. So you always hit your 2 now, basically, which is nice. Stormcall. Remove the conditional bonus damage and knockup when picking up the axe on activation. Stormcall no longer deploys with a axe. Instead, the base damage has been increased from 200 to 400 to 250 to 450, and the physical power scaling has been increased from 100% to 120%. So I guess they're trying to get Chalk to build more power. I mean, you basically build solo and it's super tanky, but I guess they want like the Wolfie Transcendence Chalk Zalia build, you know what I'm saying? So that could be interesting to see how that works out. That's quite a bit of damage. 450 plus 120% scaling with the power you can get on a physical character, give or take. I mean, you could have a 600 plus damage ult pretty easy. So that's pretty cool. Will he be super viable? It doesn't really affect his laning phase or anything, and he still wins laning phase. Makes him a little bit better outside of that, but I'm not sure if it pushes him into like better than things like Robin and AMA and Vamana. Medusa! Let's see, what are they doing? Medusa's receiving a mana reduction on Acid Spray and Lacerate to better assist her ability to harass enemies, especially in the early game. Mana cost reduction from 70 to 90 to 60 to 80, and mana cost on Lacerate from 85 to 70 at all ranks. Mana costs are always one of those things where it's like, sure, it's a buff, but like pro players are never struggling with their mana. So it's one of those things that like it probably helps new players more than it helps top tier players. Convenient. Medusa's not any better than she was. SCYLLA. Crush is receiving an increase in power. I'm sorry, I must have read that wrong. One sec, let me try. Crush is receiving an increase in power. Huh. I didn't realize that they hated their own game. Okay, while also becoming more expensive to cast. Our goal with this is to make sure SCYLLA still maintains her late game mage status, but not at the cost of her early game. SCYLLA will be more potent overall to help balance her early game and late game differences. Alright, Sentinel. SCYLLA can now deploy Sentinel while crippled, but cannot use the leap while crippled. Interesting, though. So if you get crippled, you can still throw out your tentacle to then jump to, which is actually a big deal when you think about the time frame that it takes to actually do that. Because throwing out the tentacle is like a solid second of time that you can't be dashing to it. So it's actually quite a bit of time that you save trying to get away in that situation. Crush. Increased mana cost from 60 to 80 to 70 to 90. Who cares? Increased damage from 90 to 310 to 90 to 330. Increased magical power scaling to 100%. That's what matters, dude. The base damage only went up by 5 at every rank after rank 1. Who cares? But increased magical scaling by 20%. SCYLLA often ends up with like 600 magical power. So that's 600 bonus damage to this ability instead of 500 bonus damage, or give or take, whatever the math says. That's a lot of bonus damage late game. Plus it helps early with things like Soulstone giving, you get like 70 power from it. You're going to be able to utilize all that power, which is going to help her clear a ton in the early game. I bet she full clears at level 3 now with 2 points in Crush. I bet you with Soulstone on you, that little 5-point increase plus the 20%, she'll full clear at level 2, meaning SCYLLA could be a force once again. You know what? Just buff Susano while we're at it. Let's go for it. Hit me up, fam. Let's go. Buff SCYLLA, buff Susano. He needs buffs. We've been watching Susano closely. While we feel like he's fallen into a balanced state, we understand his mobility, control, have been frustration to play against. Oh my god, they're going to nerf him. Our goal, as with any god, is to make sure they're both fun and balanced to play against. Okay, let's go. Stormcata. Pre-cast time for the first slash from 0.1 to 0.4 seconds. They increased the cast time on it? That's kind of weird. Damage from the attacks reduced. Again? From 55 to 195 to 40 to 160. The third attack of Stormcata now deals damage. The dash deals damage again? So now the dash deals 20 to 80 plus 33% physical power. And they reduced the scaling on the first two. Holy cow. Okay. So they gave Stormcata a longer cast time. They made the first two attacks do less damage, and they put damage onto the dash part of it to try to make him use that aggressively instead of getting away. And they reduced the scaling, so that ability is useless. And Typhoon only applies the knockup when fully charged. Okay. So they took Susano out of the game, which is awesome. The bad part is that there goes Weakened's God Pool. So, we're looking for a new jungler. Applications ready. Go. Okay, that's I mean, basically Susano's gone from the game. That's gonna just absolutely decimate him. I don't play Susano, so I don't care. Screw that character for forever. He was the most broken god for way too long, so I'm glad he's nerfed into the wazoo. Now, what we were all waiting for, which is the new god. The new god all the way back up top. We got our friend right here. Oh god, I didn't break anything. That is a scary looking dude. He looks like, he reminds me of like, what's the, Anastasia in the Dark of the Night. You know what I'm talking about, that song? He looks like a minion that'd be working for Rasputin. Oh god, I can't get us back. I can't get us back. I'm back, it's okay. Okay, So let's talk about the new god. I believe he is a assassin, but I don't think I have any way to confirm here what he is. Physical power, so I mean probably an assassin. Passive, Essence Drinker. He has passive vampirism bonus, plus 5% lifesteal and healing. Also, anytime a god dies, they leave behind a pool of their essence in the spot they were slain. He may stand in these pools to drink the essence, replenishing his health and mana. 2% health and mana per drink. If he's out of combat, he drinks faster. Interesting. That's going to be a nice passive. First ability, Screech. CAMAZOTZ screeches loudly and launches a sound wave that pierces through minions, dealing pretty good damage, 90 to 270 plus 70% power scaling. If it hits an enemy god, it echoes. If CAMAZOTZ is hit by an echo, he gains a vision of the god that was hit by Screech for the next 15 seconds and gains bonus physical power 20 through 40 for the duration. 15-second cooldown. That's a nice ability. The bonus power is going to be important for him for his auto attacks to make sure he's getting the most damage out of his kit. Plus, if it gives him bonus damage, he'll probably want to use it early so his other abilities can do damage. Vampire Bats. CAMAZOTZ commands a swarm of bats to fly out and attack a single target, damaging 100 to 420 plus 130% scaling. What? 420 damage plus 130% scaling and slows for 30% and then carries back a heal. Oh no, we just got rid of the OP jungler, dude. What? Susano's out. CAMAZOTZ. Okay. 420 damage. 420 blaze it. Plus 130%. Slows for 30%. And it heals you. If the target was a jungle buff monster, they'll be marked. And you'll receive a heal as well as a stackable vampirism buff that lasts for 3.5 minutes. Marked monsters will not provide CAMAZOTZ with another stack of vampirism stack. The stack gives 3% lifesteal and healing, stacking 3 times on a 10-second cooldown. Well, I know what ability you're leveling first. I don't have to look at the third ability. Screw his 1 forever. Screw that ability. Ability's trash. Vampire Bats are where it's at. Devour. Third ability. That's the most bloated ability I ever seen in my time. 420, 30, heal. Okay, anyway. CAMAZOTZ leaps forward a short distance, dealing 80 to 320. Wow, that's a lot of jump damage. Plus 75% power scaling on impact and heals himself per enemy hit. 55 plus 25% late game. Wow. That could be like a 400 hit point heal if you play, alright? Okay. Pretty long cooldown on E-Getaway though, 15 seconds. Finally, his ultimate, Bat Out of Hell. CAMAZOTZ flies into the air, becoming CC immune for the next 3 seconds. While flying, he may swoop forward to deal 300 max level plus 20% of physical power damage. He may do this 3 times, landing on the 3rd time. Hitting more than one enemy god in a swoop will deal increased 10% damage per god. Okay, so this guy, you're telling me right now, one sec, wait. He's going to throw an ability on me that I take 420 damage plus his power, and I'm slowed and he healed to full. And then this guy is going to ulti into the air and smack the rest of my HP away, and I cannot hit him because he's in the air. Please, okay, he says becoming CC immune, but not damage immune. I'm hoping the way this ability works, it's just not like a Rama in the air and then like a swoop down. It's more like a, hi, I'm floating on ground level and like doing a little dash forward type thing. Because if he's damage immune in that, that is the grossest thing I've ever heard of my entire life. It just says CC immune. So I'm assuming it's more of like a itty bitty fly off the ground and not like a Rama, I'm in the air kind of off the ground. But All of his abilities look extremely strong. Mainly Vampire Batch. I mean, there's no way this ability makes it off of PTS without getting nerfed in both the damage department and the slow department and something. Like, it can't give... Let's talk about the skill. 420 damage. So, the highest base damage I've ever seen in my entire life. 130% scaling. The best scaling I've ever seen in my entire life. A 30% slow, which is like the best slow in Smite. It heals you. And it gives you a stacking buff. On a 10-second cooldown, which is like the lowest in Smite. There's no way that that ability with that 6 most OP things gets out of PTS. But on the whole, I like this patch quite a bit. Cool new god, amazing new skins. Item changes were good. Changes to gods were good, except for maybe SCYLLA might be OP, but I've got MLC Stealth on my team. I don't care. He's going to carry me to victory. This is the MLC Stealth patch. Put him in and just let him carry away. Hope you guys learned something here today. Thank you for watching the video. Let me know down in the comments how you think this patch is going to affect the meta. And if you're an Amazon Prime holder, guys, you can subscribe to my Twitch channel for absolutely free, and I get all the benefit. It's the best way to support the Twitchiest community. And as always, have a Twitching day, y'all. It's the final countdown. Ba-da-ba-ba.